American icon Booker T. Washington said, "Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome." There is one rivalry in particular, maybe above all other feuds that we'll cover on this podcast, that most personifies this quote. The now generational battle between John Cena and CM Punk was a standoff against not good versus evil, or even good versus better. It was a battle of personal ideologies, philosophies, and principles. So grab your jorts and do a five-knuckle shuffle as we roll this one back with a rewind. Wait, can we say five-knuckle shuffle? Welcome to the Feud Rewind. I'm your host, Benza Lance. For years, CM Punk and John Cena captivated audiences with their contrasting styles, electrifying promos, and unforgettable matches. Their feud wasn't just about who was the better wrestler. It was a clash of dogmas, a battle between the corporate poster boy and the voice of the voiceless. This week, we'll explore the origins of this rivalry, break down their most significant encounters, and examine how their confrontation shaped not only their careers but the landscape of the WWE as a whole. We'll relive the pipe bombs, the championship matches, and the moments that left us on the edges of our seats. So, whether you're Team Cena or Team Punk, or just a fan of great wrestling storytelling, stick around. We're about to embark on a journey through one of the most exciting chapters in WWE history. But before we dive deep into the heat of the rivalry, let's take a moment to understand the two men at the center of this story, John Cena and CM Punk. John Cena would make his debut on the WWE main roster in June of 2002, initially portraying a brash, rap-battling character known as the Doctor of Thugonomics. This edgy persona quickly caught on with fans, leading to Cena's first major title win, the US Championship in 2004. However, it was Cena's transition into a more family-friendly character that truly catapulted him to superstardom. With his quote, "never give up" mantra and vibrant merchandise, Cena became the face of WWE for over a decade. He captured his first WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21 in 2005, defeating JBL, and went on to become, at the time of this recording, a 16-time world champion, tying Ric Flair's record. Cena's influence extended far beyond the ring. He became a Make-A-Wish icon, granting over 650 wishes to children with critical illnesses. His catchphrases like, "You can't see me" and "The champ is here" would go on to become a part of pop culture. Cena's work ethic, loyalty to WWE, and mainstream appeal made him the company's go-to representative for media appearances and charity events. On the other side of the ring, we have the Second City Saint, the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk. We went over some of Punk's history previously on this podcast, and as you'll remember, Punk's journey to WWE was markedly different from Cena's. He cut his teeth in the independent circuit, most notably in Ring of Honor, where he gained a reputation for his sharp mic work and helping pioneer a new hybrid style of American wrestling that utilizes different strikes taken from more traditional martial arts, such as Judo and Muay Thai. Punk joined WWE's developmental territory, OVW, in 2005, and made his ECW debut in 2006. Unlike Cena's rapid rise, Punk's ascent in WWE was more gradual. He gained attention through his straight-edge lifestyle, abstaining from alcohol, tobacco, and recreational drugs, which became a central part of his character. Punk's breakthrough came in 2011 with his infamous pipe bomb promo, where he aired his frustrations with WWE management on live TV. This blurring of reality and kayfabe instantly made Punk one of the most hottest acts in wrestling. who would go on to hold the WWE Championship for 434 days, the longest reign of the modern era before Roman. What set Punk apart was his ability to connect with the audience through his authenticity and rebellious attitude. He positioned himself as the antithesis of the corporate WWE machine, appealing to fans who felt disconnected from the more sanitized product that Cena represented. These two men, with their contrasting backgrounds, styles, and philosophies, were on a collision course that would define an era in WWE. Cena, the company man who represented everything WWE wanted in a top star, versus Punk, the anti-establishment voice who challenged the status quo. Their impending clash was not just a battle for championships, but a war for the very soul of professional wrestling. The seeds of the John Cena-CM Punk rivalry were planted long before their first major confrontation. In many ways, it was inevitable that these two polarizing figures would eventually cross paths in a meaningful way. Their earliest interactions can be traced back to 2009, when Punk cashed in his Money in the Bank contract on Jeff Hardy to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Cena, then the face of the Raw brand, congratulated Punk on his victory. However, this brief cordial relationship wouldn't last long. Our first major canonical event leads us into our feud in a somewhat indirect way. If you've been following our deep dives into wrestling history, you'll remember that the Nexus burst onto the scene in June of 2010.
We walk alone in the unknown.
This group of NXT rookies led by Wade Barrett turned the WWE upside down with their shocking debut, targeting none other than John Cena himself. A few months into the Nexus debuting, they are given a new de facto leader, as creative had been sort of floundering with the Greenhorns up until this point. CM Punk, having recently turned heel, defeats John Cena in a brutal TLC match to become the new leader of the Nexus. It's a moment that would reshape the landscape of WWE and would officially start the Punk and Cena rivalry off with a bang. Under Punk's leadership, the Nexus underwent a transformation. Gone was the Rookie Rebellion. In its place, we saw the emergence of what could only be described as a cult. Echoing back to his days as the leader of the straight-edge society, Punk molded this group into his own image. Members started sporting armbands with Punk's iconic X symbol and adopting his straight-edge lifestyle. It was CM Punk's ideology made manifest in a group of devoted followers. Now, we have to talk about how this affected John Cena. Imagine you're Cena for a moment. You've been battling the Nexus for months, and suddenly CM Punk is at the helm. Punk is a man that hasn't really gone head-to-head with Cena yet, but every part of each man's mythos is the counterpoint to the other. This shift in power dynamics is crucial to understanding the evolution of the Punk and Cena rivalry. Before, Punk was simply one of the many thorns in Cena's side. Now, with the Nexus behind him, Punk was a full-blown threat to Cena's position at the top of the WWE. But it wasn't just about power. This was an ideological conflict. On one side, you had John Cena, the all-American hero, the face of WWE's PG era. On the other hand, you had CM Punk and his Nexus, presenting an alternative lifestyle, a counterculture movement within the WWE universe. One of the most significant moments of this period came during the 2011 Royal Rumble. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. The Nexus, under Punk's command, worked together like a well-oiled machine, eliminating superstar after superstar. And yes, that includes John Cena.
No one is going to stop Punk in the new Nexus. Well, come on, Cole, let's hear it. On your belts up now.
As we move towards WrestleMania 27, Punk and the Nexus become a constant thorn in Cena's side. They interfered in his matches, cost him opportunities, and generally made his life fucking miserable. It was storytelling gold, adding layers of complexity to what was already a compelling story. This period allowed both Punk and Cena to evolve their characters. Punk transformed into this mesmerizing cult leader figure, while Cena had to dig deep and find ways to overcome not just one opponent, but an entire group. Now it's worth noting that Punk's leadership of the Nexus was relatively short-lived, ending around WrestleMania 27 in April of 2011. But his impact on the Punk-Cena rivalry can't be overstated. It served as a crucial bridge between the initial Nexus storyline and the more personal Punk-Cena feud that would explode onto our screens with one of the most talked about segments ever that we'll get into in a minute. This specific chapter in the Punk-Cena rivalry demonstrated Punk's incredible versatility as a performer. His seamless transition from his voice of the voiceless persona to this manipulative leader, all while maintaining that unmistakable CM Punk edge, was truly outstanding. For Cena, it presented a unique challenge. He wasn't just fighting for championships anymore. He was fighting against an ideology, a movement. It added depth to his character and set the stage for the more nuanced John Cena we would see in his later feuds with Punk. In 2011, everything changed. CM Punk, having grown frustrated with his position in the company and his perceived glass ceiling, delivered the promo that would alter the course of his career and set him on a collision course with John Cena.
John Cena speared.
John Cena, while you lay there, hopefully as uncomfortable as you possibly can be, I want you to listen to me. I want you to digest this, because before I leave in 3 weeks with your WWE Championship, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
On the June 27th, 2011 episode of Raw, Punk sat cross-legged at the top of the entrance ramp and unleashed what would become known as the Pipe Bomb promo.
You're as good as kissing Vince's ass as Hulk Hogan was. I don't know if you're as good as Dwayne, though. He's a pretty good ass kisser. Always was and still is. Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall. I am the best.
We really can't discuss the Punk-Cena rivalry or Punk in general without starting with the promo that ignited it all. Sitting there, Punk would deliver a scathing, fourth wall breaking promo that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. In this promo, Punk didn't just target Cena, but what Cena represented. He said, "I don't hate you, John. I don't even dislike you. I do like you. I like you a hell of a lot more than I like most people in the bag. I hate this idea that you're the best." This line encapsulated the essence of their rivalry. It wasn't personal at all. It was ideological. Punk went on to criticize WWE's treatment of wrestlers, the push of, quote, superhuman bodybuilders over talented wrestlers, and even name-dropped other wrestling promotions and departed superstars.
But the fact of the matter is I should be, and trust me, this isn't sour grapes, but the fact that Dwayne is in the main event of WrestleMania next year and I'm not makes me sick. Oh, and hey, let me get something straight. Those of you who are cheering me right now, you are just the biggest part of me leaving as anything else. Because you're the ones that are sipping out of those collector cups right now. You're the ones that buy those programs that my face isn't on the cover of. And then at 5 in the morning at the airport, you try to shove it in my face so you can get an autograph and try to sell it on eBay because you're too lazy to go get a real job.
This promo blurred the lines between scripted entertainment and reality, setting the stage for a rivalry that would do the same. And most importantly for us, he took aim at Cena, referring to Cena as a dynasty, implying that he was the chosen one, the company's golden boy who was being pushed regardless of talent or fan reaction. This promo electrified the wrestling world. Suddenly, CM Punk was the hottest property in WWE, and his impending match with John Cena for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank 2011 became the most anticipated bout of the year. The build-up to this match was intense, to put it lightly. Punk threatened to leave WWE with the championship when his contract expired, which just so happened to coincide with the night of Money in the Bank. Cena, meanwhile, was put in the unusual position of defending not just his title, but the entire WWE system that Punk was rallying against. Cena's response to the pipe bomb the following week was equally as important. Instead of dismissing Punk's complaints, Cena acknowledged them. He said, quote, "I'm not going to stand out here and say you're wrong because you're not."
Hey, this is Ben with Feud Rewind with a quick word from our first unofficial sponsor. Water. You need some. I need some. We all need some. We're made of it. Guess what? It comes in a bunch of different varieties. Hot, cold, frozen. You can get it flavored. You can get it plain. With bubbles, no bubbles, out of your tap, out of a bottle, out of a box. The possibilities are endless. Regardless, you need some. Before we get started, go get a glass. I'm going to get one too. We'll meet back here and start the show. Thank you so much. Water.
Apparently, CM Punk said some things that didn't quite mesh too well with the brass at the WWE. So much so that because of CM Punk's recent outburst, the WWE has suspended him indefinitely. Never seen eye to eye with CM Punk. But I have a voice as a champion, and I am weighing in on the WWE's decision, and I say it sucks. CM Punk and I don't agree on everything, especially his concept of loyalty to this brand. What CM Punk is thinking about doing with this WWE Championship is something that I never would. But he has been suspended for speaking his mind. He has been suspended for telling you people how he feels. I know exactly the world we live in. This is a PG show. I know what you can and cannot say. And CM Punk's outburst was at my expense. And I didn't agree with what he had to say, but I found nothing wrong with it.
This lends credibility to Punk's arguments while allowing Cena to stand his ground. Cena went on to defend his position and his love for WWE, saying, quote, "I'm still here because I love this. I'm still here because I love every second of being in this ring." This promo established the central conflict of their rivalry: Punk's disillusionment with the system versus Cena's loyalty to it. The contract signing for their Money in the Bank match was another promo highlight. On July 11th, 2011 episode of Raw, Punk doubled down on his criticisms, calling WWE a monopoly and referring to Cena as Vince McMahon's buddy, his pal, his sidekick. Cena fired back with one of his best promos, defending his position and calling out Punk's hypocrisy. He said, quote, "You're no longer the voice of the voiceless. You're just a voice that whines and complains and doesn't do anything about it." This exchange perfectly encapsulates the two sides of their argument. Nowhere was this more evident than during Punk's contract signing segment with Mr. McMahon. While McMahon attempts to re-sign the straight-edge superstar, Punk was more concerned with making frivolous demands.
For a superstar such as myself, first-class travel is not good enough. I want my own jet. And I don't want your jet. Your jet smells. Don't try to pawn that thing off on me. I want my own jet. Number two, my face will be on everything. I want my face on the Titantron. I want my face on these turnbuckles. I want cups, posters, spoons, knives, forks, shoes, socks. I want everything with my face on it. Number one thing being, I want you to bring back the WWE ice cream bars.
Everything from his own private jet to the return of the WWE ice cream bars was requested. Cena, meanwhile, was more concerned with wrestling Punk at Money in the Bank. It was here that the character differences between the two competitors was truly contrasted. While Cena wished to maintain the bridge, Punk showed no concern with lighting it ablaze, even to the extent of taking the WWE Championship as his contract ended at Money in the Bank. The night of Money in the Bank 2011 in Punk's hometown of Chicago was electric. July 17th, 2011 saw an atmosphere unlike anything WWE had seen in years. The crowd was firmly behind Punk, while Cena, usually beloved by younger fans, was showered with boos. In a match that would go on to be rated 5 stars by Dave Meltzer, Punk defeated Cena to win the WWE Championship. The match itself was a masterclass in storytelling and a stunning example of a psychological chess game. Punk entered as the anti-hero, carrying the weight of potentially leaving the company. This created an air of unpredictability that played on both Cena's and the audience's mind. Cena, representing the establishment, was torn between his duty to the company and his personal code of ethics. However, this didn't stop Cena nor Punk from pulling out all the stops, trading finishers and near falls that had the crowd on the edge of their seats. The climax came when Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis tried to interfere, echoing the infamous Montreal Screwjob. Cena's internal conflict was visible in his hesitation at key moments in this match already, especially when McMahon attempted to interfere. But Cena, staying true to his character, stopped the interference.
John Cena just told the boss, not that way. We're going to do it my way. And CM Punk! CM Punk! GTS connecting! GTS connecting! Oh my God! Oh my God!
This moment of integrity would cost him the match, as Punk capitalized to win the WWE Championship. The image of Punk blowing a kiss to Vince McMahon before disappearing into the Chicago crowd with the title became instantly iconic. As promised, he blew the kiss to Vince and left through the crowd with the title, setting off a summer of intrigue known as the Summer of Punk. This match and the events surrounding it elevated both men. For Punk, it was the moment he truly became a main event player. For Cena, it presented a new challenge: how to maintain his position as the company's top star in the face of a rebel who is capturing the fans' imaginations. The Cena-Punk rivalry had begun in earnest, and would go on to define both men's careers in WWE's programming for years to come. Their contrasting styles, both in the ring and on the mic, created a dynamic that was compelling to fans of all types. Whether you were a longtime wrestling purist who appreciated Punk's technical skills and sharp tongue, or a younger fan drawn to Cena's never-say-die attitude and colorful persona, this rivalry had something for everyone. We would not see Punk's return with the WWE Championship until the July 25th, 2011 episode of Raw. Rey Mysterio had won a WWE Championship tournament only to lose to John Cena later that same night. After Cena's victory, Punk returned and upstaged the new WWE Champion's celebration while also entering a title dispute. Triple H later upheld both Punk and Cena's claim to be the WWE Champion as legitimate and scheduled the two to a match at SummerSlam to decide the undisputed WWE Champion, with Triple H would serve as a special guest referee. Punk accused Cena of being a phony, while Cena retorted by calling Punk a hypocrite for returning to WWE after promising to leave. Cena delivered a powerful line. Quote, "You're not the best in the world. You're not even the best in this ring." This promo added even more personal stakes to this ideological battle, intensifying this rivalry. After Punk's return, we were heading into SummerSlam for a much-anticipated rematch. The match had the added stipulation of Triple H being the special referee, and also lingering in the background is John Cena's rival, he has a lot of them, Alberto Del Rio, who is the holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase at this time, adding another layer of tension. August 14th, 2011, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. SummerSlam. Here, both men entered with something to prove, especially since this match was billed as, quote, the undisputed WWE Championship match, as both Punk and Cena claimed to be the rightful champion. Punk needed to show his first win wasn't a fluke, while Cena had to reclaim his status as the top star. This led to a match where both tried to one-up each other, pulling out rarely used move to assert dominance. The psychology shifted from their usual dynamics, with both men showing a degree of desperation not typically associated with their characters. The bout was intense from the start, with both men pulling out rarely used moves. Cena hit a superhero Rana, while Punk used his Pepsi Plunge, a move he hadn't used since his Ring of Honor days. The match would end in a little bit of controversy when Cena's foot was on the bottom rope during the pin, but Triple H didn't see it.
Cena managed to get out of the way. And now John Cena.
Cena mounting some major offense. Cut off at the pass. By Punk.
High knee by Punk. Will Cena go to sleep here?
Two-time for your
GTS.
mouth.
Another GTS.
That's it.
Hook of the leg. This new look at Cena. Cena's got his foot on the rope. Cena's foot's on the rope.
Triple H.
Hunter. His foot was on the rope. His foot was on the rope.
Undisputed WWE Champion. No, put on the rope.
Hunter, his foot was on the rope.
The match itself was another barn burner, with both men leaving it all in the ring. Punk would eventually win, unifying the WWE Championships in the process. However, the victory was short-lived as Kevin Nash would attack Punk post-match, allowing Alberto Del Rio to successfully cash in his Money in the Bank contract and steal the title. This night ends on a tumultuous note, as both Punk and Cena feel screwed, scorned, and in need of retribution. Now, we wouldn't see any further direct contact between these two for a while. In the months that followed, Punk and Cena seemed to show more mutual respect towards each other than anything. However, they were largely part of separate storylines. Punk would eventually regain the WWE Championship from Del Rio at Survivor Series the following November. From there, the self-proclaimed best in the world continued to hold the WWE Championship, ultimately setting an impressive 434-day reign. He also put on stellar matches with the likes of Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan, even if his matches weren't always in the main event spots. It's that last bullet that was a major sticking point in Punk's craw throughout his entire WWE tenure. Even though he had the longest world title reign of the modern era until Roman Reigns came around, it still wasn't enough for the, at the times, cantankerous straight-edge star. As for Cena, high-profile programs continued. Chief among them was his rivalry with The Rock. Hey there, this is Benzo with Feud Rewind, coming at you with a quick word from our second unofficial sponsor, The Sun. That's right, summertime is here, and the living, if your living is like mine, is extremely difficult. But what's not difficult is popping in your earbuds, putting on those headphones, using a little Bluetooth speaker, and going on to The Sun while you listen to this podcast. You and me, let's go get some vitamin D while we enjoy the sun. Thank you, sun. Now back to the show.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Cena had issue with dating back to their early days of the Punk rivalry, Cena would also draw the ire of John Laurinaitis, even wrestling the EVP of Talent Relations on one occasion. However, in the eyes of WWE fans, it wouldn't be long until the face of the company was back in the WWE Championship hunt. This would rekindle the rivalry between Punk and Cena on July 23, 2012. On this night, the 1000th episode of Raw, Cena would cash in his own Money in the Bank opportunity, facing Punk in the WWE Championship main event, with Punk losing this match but retaining the title by disqualification after interference from Big Show. With the night's special guest MC The Rock, who had interrupted Punk earlier in the show to announce that The Rock himself would wrestle for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble in January 2013, intervened to save Cena from Big Show's assault. Punk would attack The Rock and turn heel in the process.
Electrifying move in sports entertainment. CM Punk! What in the world? What are you doing? I can't believe what I'm seeing here. No!
And CM Punk's not done. CM Punk with Rock on his shoulders. CM Punk, oh, with a go to sleep to the Rock.
Punk justified his actions the following week on Raw, explaining he was tired of people like Cena and Rock overshadowing him when the WWE Champion should be the focus of the company, inserting himself further soon after by disrupting a number one contenders match between Cena and Big Show. As a result, both men were entered into a title match against Punk on August 19th at SummerSlam, where Punk successfully retained the title by pinning Big Show after both Punk and Cena submitted Big Show at the same time, and Raw GM AJ Lee would restart the match. If it sounds like we're skipping over this particular match, it's because we are. It was a triple threat. The events surrounding the match, especially The Rock's involvement, that would continue on with John Cena, would further drive the wedge between CM Punk and the WWE, and would have explosive results later on. Back to the task at hand. By this time, Punk had turned heel and aligned himself with Paul Heyman, adding a new dimension to his character. Punk was demanding respect from the likes of GM AJ Lee, Bret Hart, and Jerry the King Lawler, to name a few. The petulance was starting to reach a boiling point, and this was just further driving home the disconnect between Punk and the WWE itself. Our next major canonical event is going to be Night of Champions. September 16th, 2012. The TD Garden Arena in Boston is hosting us tonight. The main event for Night of Champions is the WWE Championship match between John Cena and defending champion CM Punk. This match was significant as it was Cena's chance to win his 11th WWE Championship. The storytelling in the match is superb, with Punk playing the heel role to perfection. He constantly taunts Cena in the audience, while Cena fought from underneath, designed to throw Cena off of his game and make him fight emotionally rather than strategically. Cena in turn had to battle not just Punk, but also his own frustrations. The culmination of the match sees Cena execute a bridging German superplex off the top rope on Punk to win the match.
Is awesome. What a German cover. Did he get him? He got him. He got him. What a match.
The match for dominance.
Both guys left everything in the ring. Sit all in.
Both competitors' shoulders were. This match is a draw.
As Cena is celebrating, the referee declares a draw due to a double pin, thus Punk retaining the title. When Cena stopped celebrating, Punk hit Cena with the title belt as he stood tall in the middle of the ring and exited with manager Paul Heyman to close the show. The draw finish played into Punk's character development, allowing him to claim moral victory while further infuriating both Cena and the fans. It was a clever booking decision that protected both stars while also advancing the storyline. We had mentioned that a tertiary component that ended up being a major focus in this Punk-Cena feud wouldn't be the two aforementioned men themselves. It would be The Rock. That sound familiar? Anyway, a major event in both this feud and CM Punk's career happened at that Royal Rumble in 2013 that we had talked about earlier. CM Punk is set to defend that WWE Championship against The Rock in a match that also had the stipulation that Punk would be stripped of the title if the Shield interfered. We sort of brushed over the Shield a little bit.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
Who had only debuted a few months previously at Survivor Series 2012. The Hounds of Justice were portrayed initially as hired mercenaries of sorts, hovering around all of CM Punk's matches and often stepping in to help him retain. To wit, on the January 21st episode of Raw, the Shield attacked The Rock, Punk's WWE Championship contender at the Royal Rumble, resulting in Mr. McMahon declaring that the interference in the title match would result in Punk being stripped of that championship. However, during Punk's title match at the Royal Rumble on January 27th, during a blackout, The Rock was attacked by the Shield in the darkness, and when the lights came back on, The Rock had been put through the announce table, leading to Punk pinning The Rock and retaining the championship.
Somebody's destroying our announce table here. Who the hell is that? They're attacking Rock. Holy cow, King, look at who that is. Look out. King. Oh my God, it's the Shield. No, the Shield. The Shield. That was the Shield. And they just triple powerbomb Rock to the table.
However, the match was immediately restarted by Mr. McMahon with The Rock winning the WWE Championship. This, of course, would end up setting up Rock vs. Cena 2 at WrestleMania 29. The once-in-a-lifetime match that we got twice, with Punk once again left on the outside looking in. In a lead-up to their match for a spot in the WrestleMania main event, Punk and Cena had one last great promo battle. On the February 11th, 2013 episode of Raw, Punk claimed that he was God in WWE. He said to Cena, quote, "You're just a man with a bad haircut and a shirt for little kids." Cena's response was passionate and personal. He said, quote, "You want to talk about change? You haven't changed jack. You're the same insecure little kid. You blame me for all your problems." This promo perfectly set up the stage for their final one-on-one match. In the lead-up to WrestleMania 29, Cena and Punk had one more classic encounter on Raw. On February 25th, 2013, the two men would face off one last time, with the stipulation being that if Punk won, he would be added to the main event of WrestleMania, making it a triple threat match. This marathon match was as much a mental endurance test as a physical one, lasting over 55 minutes, making it one of the longest in Raw history. This instant classic saw both men digging deep into their psychological reserves.
I'm spent watching this.
Can you imagine what Rock's feeling right now? The WWE champion watching these two men go at it. He's going to have his hands full no matter who wins this match tonight. This is what the WWE Championship and an opportunity to headline WrestleMania means to both of these men. They've been there before. They want it again.
Oh, watch out here. Punk risking it all.
Went for the elbow. John Cena rolls out of the way. Cena. John Cena. Look at that hurricane rod from Cena. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me? Cover! Cena did it! Cena's coming home! Cena's going to WrestleMania!
For Punk, it was about proving he could go the distance and potentially reclaim his spot for WrestleMania. For Cena, it was about overcoming his biggest rival once and for all. The length of this match allowed for a slow burn of psychological warfare, with momentum shifts testing each other's resolve. This match was everything fans had come to expect from these two. It was a back-and-forth affair that showcased both men's strengths. In the end, Cena hit an incredible Hurricane Rana from the top rope, followed by an attitude adjustment to secure the win. This match was significant not just for its quality, but because it definitively shut CM Punk out of the WrestleMania main event picture, a point of real-life contention that would later be revealed to have contributed to Punk's departure from the WWE. Rewind-wise, this brings us to the end of our feud. This John Cena and CM Punk rivalry had a profound impact on both men's careers, albeit in very different ways. For Cena, we witnessed a subtle yet ultimately drastic character evolution. Prior to his feud with Punk, Cena's character had become somewhat stagnant. The never-give-up superhero persona, while popular with younger fans, was starting to wear thin with older audiences. The rivalry with Punk forced Cena to show much more depth and vulnerability. He had to address criticisms head-on and defend his position in the company, adding layers to the character. As well as showing he had more than enough chops for character work, Cena's matches with Punk were consistently among his best. The chemistry between them pushed Cena to elevate his in-ring work, showcasing a technical ability that many critics had previously overlooked. This improvement in match quality helped silence some of Cena's detractors who had labeled him as a limited performer. While Cena had always been popular with casual viewers and younger fans, the Punk feud helped him gain respect with more critical, smart fans, the smart marks, if you will. By holding his own against Punk both on the mic and in the ring, Cena proved he could hang with the best pure wrestlers in the company. Conversely, while Punk had been a multi-time world champion before the Cena feud, this rivalry cemented him as a true main event player. Going toe-to-toe with WWE's franchise player proved that Punk belonged at the top of the card. Long an indie darling and a true character that the fans either viscerally cheered or jeered, Punk finally had the spotlight on a big enough stage, the size of stage he thought he rightfully deserved. It could be easily argued that given the success of the pipe bomb promo and subsequent storylines most likely gave Punk vast creative freedom. WWE realized the power of letting Punk be himself to a degree, leading to some of the most compelling character work of his career. Punk had to definitely straddle that creative edge, where being too creative might just be a hindrance to receiving the type of screen time you might necessitate in order to pull off said creative. Think of what happened to people like Brian Pillman, Bray Wyatt, or Raven at times throughout their respective careers. Regardless, Punk's popularity was never in question, and partly as a result of his rivalry with Cena, Punk was given a 434-day reign as WWE Champion. We would have to wait years until Roman Reigns finally took his seat at the head of the table to see title reigns that would reach this length in the modern era in WWE. And like with most wrestling stories, it's not all accolades and paydays. The flip side of Punk's success was the increased pressure and workload. The high-profile feud with Cena, followed by programs with The Rock and Undertaker, took a toll on Punk physically and mentally. His frustrations with the WWE, many of which stemmed from issues highlighted in his feud with Cena, eventually led to his controversial departure from the company in 2014. The rivalry forced John Cena, already the face of the company, to evolve and showcase depths to his character and in-ring ability that many thought he didn't possess. It catapulted CM Punk from upper mid-card player to bona fide main event superstar and cultural icon. More than that, it changed fan expectations. In the grand tapestry of WWE history, the John Cena vs. CM Punk rivalry stands out as a vibrant, complex, and unforgettable thread. It was a perfect storm of personalities, timing, and talent that produced some of the most compelling television WWE has ever created. From the electrifying pipe bomb promo that kickstarted it all, to the 5-star match at Money in the Bank 2011, to the verbal jousts that blur the lines between script and reality, CM Punk versus John Cena exemplified everything that makes professional wrestling such a unique and compelling form of entertainment. Years later, the Cena-Punk rivalry still resonates. We still talk about the Summer of Punk. We still quote lines from those promos. We still go back and rewatch those matches. That's the mark of a truly legendary feud. To both John Cena and CM Punk, thank you both so much for the memories and for the matches. And with that brings us to the end of the rewind for the week. I appreciate you spending some time with me this week to relive some classic wrestling drama. You know to do that follow, like, subscribe, and share gimmick. We're on all the socials as Feud Rewind, and that email is feudrewind@gmail.com. Fellow fan, I'm your host, Benza Lance, and I'll see you next week when we roll it back with another feud to rewind.